everyone, Keru here. Welcome to Best Apocalypse Ever, the show where we don't ask for Patreon donations, we ask for Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies or any other form of support. Thank you. I don't know if I'll have a Patreon one day, but if you know any crypto millionaires, please tell them to send me at least one Bitcoin and I will produce more of these episodes. Thank you. Actually, I said I would produce one a week, which I'm doing, and more videos, so you're welcome. Guess where I am? You're not gonna like this if you saw episode 2. Oh no, I'm in the tunnel again. No! The big difference this time is that I have my tripod, so I don't have to be static. I can move around, you know, and show you a little bit of my verdura and some of that tunnel, and some guys coming over. I'm gonna say hi. Hey, ciao. What's up? Apologies for the interruption. I had to say hello to a friend, which is nice because now I have kind of friends here. I mean, not, very close friends, but close enough. I'm actually supposed to get visitors at home in a couple of days who are going to come and jam, play some music with me. So that's really nice because I never get visitors. So now I have to clean up the place. Speaking of friends, how are your friends and family doing? Are they waking up a little bit? Are they, at the time of recording this, we'll probably not be out for a couple of weeks, but it's mid-October. And I've been seeing for a week or two, especially this week, a lot of stuff coming out in the media about all those hot issues, about, everything we've been going through the last couple of years. And I'm talking mainstream media with big things. And it seems to me that some people doing the bad stuff don't have the means anymore to hide it, or they don't know how, or like I was saying in the previous episode, maybe they're forced to show it. Maybe they got a gun to their head saying, okay, you're gonna start telling the truth, or kaboom. I don't know what's going on. But I'm wondering, what impact is that having on your friends and family? And by the way, if you're wondering behind me, this tunnel used to be where the train was going along the coast of the northern Italy, Mediterranean Sea. And now the train is further up north, and this tunnel actually leads to a beach. But I don't know why people take it to go to the beach, because they can just walk by the ocean, by the sea, and have a better view. I don't know. Anyways, so how are your friends reacting? Are they waking up a little bit? Are they asking questions? And I had a few things I wanted to suggest that maybe you can talk about with your friends to start friends and family. For example, a lot of people tell me I don't believe it, when I talk about certain things. One subject is, I don't want to mention the actual name, but those lines in the sky, those white lines in the sky. When I tell them what it is, from the proof that I've seen, and just not being a complete idiot, oftentimes they say, I don't believe it. And I go, well, are you going to research this? No, I just don't believe it. And then it got to a point where I came up with an idea. I started asking these people, okay, let's just pretend, let's do a mental exercise. Let's just pretend that it's true, that it exists. And even that they have a hard time with, like, oh no, it doesn't exist. Yeah, but let's pretend. Can we play pretend, please? It's like cosplay, but with ideas. So let's pretend that it exists, that there's this big conspiracy and that lines in the skies are very bad. What would constitute a proof for you to believe it? Like, if it was true, there's got to be a way to prove it. Would it be a document, official document? Would it be like, would the, I don't know, the President of the United States have to make a speech saying, yes, it's true, yes, we can, spray the sky? Would it be some testimony from someone? Would it be a lab analysis of whatever's in the sky at that point? What would constitute proof? Everything can be proven, so what would constitute proof that would make you change your mind? And people get really stuck when I ask that one. They don't know. They don't want to answer. They don't want to answer. They're like, no, there's no proof. I don't believe it. Okay, but so I usually tell them, okay, stop. Let's not start talking about other stuff. Just, or their conspiracy, whatever. Just think about that one. Just like, tell me in a week or two, take your time. What would be the proof? And who knows, maybe the proof exists. Maybe it's already there. There's a lot of proof. And if not, maybe we can get it. Also, I think it's a lot of, I don't think I need to say this, but let's get out of the tunnel. It's going to be a little bit darker. I apologize. I'm just tired of being in a tunnel. So above me, there's a road. So there's a bit of noise from the cars. And here is the seaside. And this is like kind of like a big garden, I guess, with little cute walkways. And there's enough light for you. So the other thing that maybe we got to start talking about, and everyone's been doing it, and congratulations, is the World Economic Forum situation. I'm pretty sure World Economic Forum is not the top of the pyramid, right? But it's sort of the institution that's been put together for years and years to be used as a sort of central hub to create this sort of new world order, dystopian crap, great reset BS that they want to do. And most people, the sleepers, when I ask them, and I apologize for calling them sleepers, but yeah, they kind of are. But when I tell them about the World Economic Forum, they don't know what I'm talking about. Yet, I've heard so many times and read so many times, like on TV and newspapers everywhere. Though I don't watch that much, but I see it pass by, social media and everything. They do mention the Davos meeting and the World Economic Forum, and So what I think is important to understand, or to convey to your friends and family, is that these are not people that are elected. No one is asking them to do this. They're not doing this for us. This is a private club. It's a private club that wants to completely reshape the world and tell every government what to do and how to reshape the world for the private club. And they're not even hiding it. It's not a secret. They're openly doing that. The founder of this World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, went on, I don't know if it was an internet show or TV, I think it was TV, and said, we have the young leaders. This guy looks like freaking Dr. Evil. Not even exaggerated. Not even exaggerating. This guy's like all he needs is like the scar, and the cat on his lap, the white cat. Like James Bond villain type. He's like a parody, man. It's incredible. But this guy went on TV and openly said, we control Macron, we control Trudeau, we control half of the Canadian cabinet, we control Putin, Angela Merkel, blah, 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 blah. And nobody reacts. And most people don't know that. Again, this guy's not elected. This is like some private dude. And in Canada, in some politician brought it up to Parliament and said, I want to ask a question. We got this guy, Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum, who's saying that he controls our prime minister and half of the cabinet. So I would like to know, is it true? What does the prime minister have to say about that? And which member of the cabinets are being controlled by the World Economic Forum? Sounds like a legit question to ask, I think. And he played the recording of Klaus Schwab saying that. And his microphone was turned down. They just shut him off. They said, oh, you can't talk about this here. Actually, they said, we will not talk about conspiracy theories. And then another guy said, we can't understand the audio that you just play, so we don't know what Klaus Schwab said. First of all, it's perfectly clear audio, it's TV quality, it's broadcast quality, so you could plainly hear what he said. And to say we don't understand after saying this is conspiracy theory, so how do you judge that it's conspiracy theory if you don't understand what was said? So nothing makes sense. But the end result is that they just shut off his mic, as they always do. When you ask the right questions, there is never an answer. They will never give you an answer. So what I tell my friends and family is, like, I tell them, this is a private club. It's like a private corporation. And I give them an example. I name a corporation. Let's say, I don't even want to name names. Let's say a very famous cola brand, soda, cola brand, declares that they're going to change the world and the government will follow what they do. And they release a book about what they're going to do. And they're going to modify humans artificially. And they're going to revolutionize everything on the planet. I mean, how would you react? Would you say, okay, cool. This is a pretty good cola. Drink the Kool-Aid, literally. So, I mean, I think it's important to sort of bring it down to very, very simple images that people can digest, to really get the message across. This is not democracy. This was not voted by anyone. This is like an aggressive takeover of our entire civilization. And it's not something that they plan to do eventually. It's something that is ongoing, that has been going on for a long time, and is ongoing, and is almost complete, actually, pretty close to being complete. Now, I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they will complete it. But, let's just say we're going to lose a lot of feathers, I think, in this battle. So basically, it's like how people view government. A lot of people view government as God. They wouldn't admit it, but that's how they treat it. They treat it like God. I've asked many people, name one thing your government could not do to you. And a lot of people said, I don't know, nothing. So, okay, so they can come to your home and take your children? No. Okay, but did you notice that they do sometimes? They do that to people. They're basically judge, jury, executioner, and take whatever they want. You can come up with any excuse or law. They don't even need laws anymore. They have decrees. They have rules, not laws. So, the way I see, I try to, sometimes things are so big that they're hard to understand. Like, government is really big. It's a big machine. It's hard to understand. Unless you're talking very local, and even then, even the mayor of your little village has to answer to other higher ups. So the image that I use is, I tell people, imagine that you own a convenience store, let's say. You're the owner of a convenience store. You're the owner. You don't necessarily work there. You own the place. You pay for the place. And you hire a manager. And this manager is basically mistreating his employee, stealing cash, stealing inventory, just mismanaging the place all over. And as an owner, you notice that you're losing money instead of making money. Yeah, that this convenience store is well located. It's got lots of, it looks good. It's got resources, but it's losing money because of mismanagement. What do? Wouldn't you fire the manager? This convenience store is your country. It belongs to you. It's supposed to belong to the people. Now, I'm not sure if on paper it really belongs to the people, because governments have a tendency to create magical papers that give them rights and take away your rights, our rights. So I don't even know what's true anymore or not. But the message they're trying to convey, the image they're giving you, is that it belongs to you, that they're your government, so they're your manager of your convenience store. They're your government of your country. So you should be able to fire them if they're doing a bad job. I mean, there's no accountability. There's nothing. It just doesn't make much sense. And the reason I think, so I use the convenience store image just to remind people that you are the owners. We are the owners. We're not subordinate to these people. We are owners. And they are supposed to be hired to manage the place, to help us manage the place. So if they're doing a bad job, what do? Do we re-elect them? If you're in Quebec, that's what you do. No, I think there was a lot of cheating in Quebec, but whatever. And the media are so bad, man. They lied so much to people. It's incredible. I don't have a lot of hatred in my heart, and I see people doing really, really bad things. But the media, I think I hate them. I don't say this lightly. I'm not a hateful man, but I think I hate the mainstream media. I really hate them. I don't think I can ever forgive them, what they did. Like every single one. They lied so much, and they created so much havoc, and they just lied when their job is based on showing people the truth. It's supposed to be that. So they went so to the opposite. They lost their souls so much, and it worked. That's the worst part. When someone does something bad to you, if it doesn't work. I remember a kid when I was very young. A kid came over to my place and he tried to steal some toys, but I found them in his jacket and I threw him down the stairs. Poor kid. So I wasn't mad at him after. I didn't have hatred in my heart for him, because whatever he tried to do didn't work. At the end of the day, he just got hurt when he fell down the stairs. But what the media did, it worked. And now they're even going kind of backwards, saying, well, now we have to show some of the truth because it's out anyways. So that's even worse. That's even more hypocrisy. They're going to try to come out of this as heroes. Oofa. So it seems that people see themselves, as a society, we see ourselves as slaves. We wouldn't admit it, but we kind of see ourselves as slaves, or as subordinate to this invisible entity. We're subordinate to authority, which is Yeah, I'm going to talk about Mark Passio again. I apologize, but some of the stuff he says is just, it's so basic. It's like basically you can learn anything you want about how things work in this life. You can build eco villages. You can do so many things. But if you don't understand the basic principles that are what Mark Passio is teaching, I don't think it's going to work. It's an absolute must. I don't like speaking in absolutes, but I believe his teachings are an absolute must. The understanding of natural law, I believe, is an absolute must. So, one thing he teaches, and he's not the only one, I don't think that comes from him, but the knowledge that he shares doesn't come from him specifically. It's knowledge that he acquired when he was involved in secret societies and satanic things and whatnot. He researched the occult a lot, and that's why he has this knowledge. And the knowledge of the occult is what gives a superior weight in the balance to the bad guys. They know things that we don't know. And like Mark Passio says, a lot of the occult is basically ancient psychology. The knowledge of natural law is ancient psychology, is knowing how humans behave. And if you know how they behave, you can control them. And we, as a species, generally don't know how we behave. We don't even know ourselves. So one of the big things that is discussed in his conferences, Mark Passio, is the non-existence or the myth of authority. Basically, authority means someone can be higher than you, know better, and tell you to do something that you must do, even though it is not moral, even though it is not the right thing to do. And he says that doesn't exist because karma exists. So if you do this, if you do, for example, the best example is soldiers and policemen and policewomen. They follow orders, right? There's a chain of command, there's authority. But if the order is wrong, like to go to war for no reason, kill someone who didn't attack you, hurt people, kidnap people, put them in jail, punish people who didn't do anything bad to you, that is wrong. That is morally wrong, karmically punishable. And yet they do it out of ignorance, while their leaders who give the order completely wash their hands of this karma. I like to say, Hitler never killed anyone. And that's debatable because he might have killed someone. I read up on it, but we can't confirm that Hitler ever killed anyone. Yet, millions of people, millions of deaths, and much more misery is attributed to him and his followers. But it's his followers that did it. Why? Because the Führer gave the order, and they followed the chain of command and did the horrors. So the karma is theirs. It's been proven also legally through what was it called, the Nuremberg trial, where the soldiers said, well, we were just doing our job, the Nazi soldiers. And they were told, no, you did unspeakable things and it's not right and you'll be punished for it. Now, I do believe, in hindsight, knowing what we know now, that this Nuremberg trial, maybe it was partly bullshit. Because while they were putting a few soldiers in prison or maybe executing, I don't know what they did with them, they were taking all the big brains. We know that they took all the scientists and all that from the Nazis, and through what has been what is known as Operation Paperclip, they brought them to the United States, to Canada, South America. So they kept the good people. They kept the useful people, and the useful idiots, they were discarded. So don't be a useful idiot, please. Another thing that Mark Passio, he made a conference called cosmic abandonment. You can find on his website what on earth is happening. And he came up with a theory that's interesting, that's based on what a lot of people have been saying, the Zachariah Sitchin and a lot of other writers, whistleblowers, people doing conferences. And basically, his theory was that he took the theory that a lot of people are saying at some point humans were messed with genetically in very ancient times. And we became what we are now. We used to be not necessarily apes, but just humans, but without the finesse and the panache we have now. And that some extraterrestrials came down and maybe repeatedly, maybe different races, whatever, but for whatever reason, that they needed workers, so they manipulated our DNA so that we could become what we are now. And in order to control those newly bred slaves, us, they created a second race, manipulated DNA some more, and and made those sort of the house slaves, sort of leaders, not ultimate leaders. You know, they had that chain of command even back then. But so they made some humans in charge of the other humans. So within us, this theory is interesting for the reason that maybe within us we have this sort of slave gene where we think unconsciously we feel that we are slaves and we don't deserve better than what we have, that whatever the master wants to give us. I'm gonna walk around. My butt hurts from sitting down. And the idea also is that part of us, or I'm not sure they're us, but other beings, are the descendants of those who were in charge of ruling us. And they're still following that program, that unconsciously, in really deep inside their DNA, they are rulers over us, and their job is to rule us and to decide everything for us. And they're not necessarily like, they see us as slaves. Actually, I think they see us as animals, really. I think they see us as chickens in a barn. But it's an interesting theory. And the idea of cosmic abandonment was that at some point, the creators, those ET creators who created those two different humans, hybrid, whatever, decided to leave, and either they knew that some kind of cataclysm was coming, which would be like the big flood, or maybe they even created it to get rid of us. So they left without helping us, and they would have left knowing that we would be destroyed. And the problem with the story, with their plan, is that we survived, both the slaves and the slave masters. So now we have this humanity who's completely out of whack, with most of the population looking for a master because that's ingrained in their DNA, and a very small minority, completely delusional, also, are convinced that they are meant, they are created, and they are on this earth to rule us as aggressively as possible. So, so that's the result. And I think that looks like what we have today. So I don't know about no ancient aliens or whatever, but it's an interesting theory in that it would explain our behaviors and our beliefs in things like authority, which doesn't exist really.